13.
Well, it's time now in our election coverage to start talking about the state measures that are on the November ballot. If approved by voters, one measure would require fewer students per classroom in grades K through 12. This is Initiative 1351 that we're talking about, and Jamie Lund is a volunteer spokesman for the No on I-1351 campaign. Jamie, thanks for joining us this morning.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so something like lower class sizes, fewer students per classroom. There must be a good reason for the No on I-1351 campaign.
And there is. There's a lot of really thoughtful people like the Association of Principals, the Association of School Administrators, the League of Education Voters, Children's Alliance, a number of groups from right and the left who oppose this measure. And there's really three reasons that they do. The first reason is that it costs $2 billion a year, and it spends a 25% increase in state funding just to hire 25,000 more employees. And most of those folks realize that there are much more effective ways to spend $2 billion a year. You know, we don't really get any service changes. We don't really get any additional help for kids falling behind. We don't get things like early intervention. And so most of those organizations are really concerned about this sort of shoving off the table some more important expenditures.
Jamie,
but
why?
There are two other. Go ahead.
No, keep going. You're fine.
So the second reason, though, is that it really isn't even going to fix class sizes. Do you know that right now our ratio of teachers to student is one teacher for every 18 and a half students? So why don't we have class sizes that are smaller? Well, it's because there's a lot of employees who aren't actually in classrooms, partially because a lot of schools don't have the buildings, and partially because they'll make decisions about how to spend their staff, where to put them, that maybe don't improve class sizes. And this initiative doesn't add any new buildings. It doesn't change any of the practices at the local level to make sure that you get smaller class sizes. All it does is change some numbers on the state allocation and force a 25% increase in employees in the school buildings, but you got the same number of buildings. So it doesn't actually produce class size. And the third reason is that generally the class size improvement that this initiative brings is only in the upper grades. The lawmakers have already passed a class size reduction for lower grades where the research says that it makes a difference. But the research says that upper grade class size reduction really doesn't have any impact. So why would you not spend money on things like early intervention or supplemental services for students and instead do something that the research shows doesn't really make that much of a difference? Those are the three main reasons that many people are opposing this initiative.
All right, Jamie, we appreciate your input this morning, and we will get a chance to speak to someone on the yes side of the 1351 campaign at 7:22.
Give us 20 minutes.